Yeah, hi there. We are continuing with our data cleaning playlist. In this, we are going to cover imputation of categorical columns. So, in the last one, we covered imputation of values for the numeric columns. So, this time we are going to take the columns which are categorical in nature. So, categorical variables can also contain missing values, and the most common method of imputing missing values for the categorical column is to replace those missing values by the most frequent value of the categorical column. So the underlying principle is the same that we followed for the numeric columns. That is, we were replacing it with mean or median. Here also we are replacing it with the most frequent value. Now the basic assumption is that in such cases the data which is missing, it should be missing completely at random. Okay, so that's a underlying assumption. Now, the problem with this approach, or you can say the limitation with this approach, is that if we have a categorical column which is having a large percentage of data missing, and if we are going to impute all those missing values with any one value, then that value will be having an over representation in the data set. So we need to be careful when we are applying this approach in case when there are a lot of data which is missing. So what we're doing is, let's quickly import the libraries NumPy and Pandas, and we will uh, take a data set related to the housing prices. And instead of importing all the columns, we are importing only selected few categorical columns, and obviously one the target column, which is a sale price. So I'm taking three categorical columns: basement quality, and fireplace quality, and the garage type. The fourth one is the sale price, which is the target column. So specifying the list of columns while reading the data in pd.read.csv, we can read data specific to only these columns. So a quick look what these columns indicate. Basement quality, this actually evaluates the height of the basement, and based on the height, that is the higher the basement in height, um, the better the quality, and if it is not that much heighted, then the quality is poor or fair. So accordingly it is categorized. So these are the short codes which are present in the data, and this is explanation corresponding to these short codes. Similarly, for the fireplace quality, we have values like ex, gd, ta, indicating values indicating the meaning as excellent, good, average, and so on. Similarly, for the garage type, we have different values as two type, attached, basement, built-in, and their meanings. Now we got the categorical data. Let's have a quick look at it using dot head function. Okay. Now first thing we are going to do is we are going to find out the percentage of missing data for each of these columns. So again, to find out the percentage, we use data.isna.mean, and just to convert it into percentage, I'm multiplying it by 100. So whatever the output I'm getting, I'm just using the map function. I'm converting it into string and then concatenating percentage symbol to it. So what we get is this output. So this shows that the basement quality has 2.53% missing data, garage type has 5.55% missing data, but if you see this particular column, fireplace quality, it has a big number of missing data, that is 47% data is missing. Sales price, again, it's a target, so obviously there is no missing data because you expect it to be there for all the records. That is fine. Now, so the variables basement quality and the garage type, they contain only a few observations. If you see 2.53 and 5.5% respectively data missing, therefore replacing those observations with the value of the most frequent category is a reasonable approach. However, on the other hand, if we take the variable fireplace quality, which contains a high amount of missing data, almost half of the observations, and if we are going to replace the most frequent category in this particular variable, then it's going to distort the relationship of the most frequent category with respect to the sales price. So we have to follow a different approach for the fireplace quality, whereas for the basement quality and the garage type, we can follow the approach of replacing the missing values with their respective most frequent values. Okay, before going ahead, I'm just splitting the data in the form of train and test. Not actually necessarily required in this case, but I mean, this is what we do because we are not going to build any model in this tutorial. We are just trying to deal with the missing values. But let's follow the flow. So the flow is given the data set, we have to split it into train and test. So this is what I'm doing. I'm just using sklearn.model selection and importing the train test split and applying this particular function and passing the data excluding the sales price. And for the second one, I am giving the sale price, and then again I'm splitting the data in the form of x train x test and y train and y test. The test size is 30% and the random state is 0. So it can be reproduced with the same random state. And I'm importing some visualization libraries, matplotlib, .pyplot, and seaborn. Next thing, what I'm doing is I'm just creating a bar plot function. So before that, I'll go through the function code, but before that, let me just quickly plot it and just show what is the output, and then I'll go through the code of the function. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to for each of these categorical variables, we are trying to plot the category labels and how much data is present for that particular category. So basically, if I take this column basement quality in the train data set, then as per the bar plot, we get TA is the category which is the most representative or the most frequent category, and it has 400 plus observations, followed by GD, which is good. This is the second most frequent category, and so on. And in the bar plot, I am also representing the missing values as a specific category. So this gives some sort of a comparative study, like the data which is missing for that respective category, where it stands in compared to the other values of the categories. Okay, so this is what we are doing using the draw underscore bar plot, which is the manually function that I've written above. So what it does, it takes the value of a particular the categorical value of a particular data frame, okay, which is passed actually as a series. And what it does, it just creates a bar plot, and the for the bar where the label is missing, it makes that particular bar in red color. And if the bar is such that it is having the highest value, it will make it as the blue color, and rest of the other bars will be in the gray color. So we can quickly, distinguish where our missing bar stands with respect to others, and which category type has the highest frequency. In case the missing value is the one which is the highest, then I am just coloring that particular bar as red only and not as the blue. So this is what I'm doing. So let me just quickly have a look at the different bar plots that we have created. One for the basement quality, one for the garage type. If you see, for the garage type, the most frequent value is attached, and this is where the missing value stands. And for the fireplace quality, the most frequent value is the missing value itself. That is why you see missing bar as red in color, so not in blue, because if if the highest bar is missing itself, then I'm coloring it as red instead of, I mean, just to highlight that, okay, this is the one which is the most frequent value. So how do we create this bar plot? So as I said, in the bar plot, what we are passing is the series. So if you see, I'm just calling the data frame, and I'm specifying the specific variable, a categorical variable, or categorical column, so which is passed as a series. So once it is passed to to the function as a series, what it does, it first creates a count of how many missing, what it does, it first fills all the missing values with the all the any values with the word, with a string word missing, okay. And then it creates a value count, so that it gets a frequency table of the different categories and their respective count, where all the NAs will be represented by the string missing. Then it actually does the plotting of using SNS.bar plot, and on the x-axis we are passing the CNT, which is actually a series, and it passing its index, and on the y-axis I'm passing the actual values and storing it in the AX as the object. Then what I'm doing is I'm just checking each uh, x-axis label, major x-axis major tick label. If its text is so I'm calculating, I'm just gathering all the text at the x-axis into x labels. So this will be a list of all these values like TA, GD, EX, missing, and other values. So X labels is getting the text which is appearing on, as the label on the x-axis, and this one AX dot patches from, I'm just looping through it, and for each value of this I'm calculating the height, so getting the height. So that is what I'm doing is I'm getting the height of each bar, and I'm storing all such heights in a bar underscore heights list, and from that bar underscore height list I'm just finding out the maximum value. So this is being done so that the bar with the maximum value should be colored in blue color. That's the whole purpose of finding this. And what I'm doing in this particular code is using this maximum height. So that is the position where this maximum height is coming under the bar underscore heights. I'm using that particular position or index as a reference, and finding the value from x underscore labels. So basically it will return which value is the most frequent value in that particular variable, categorical variable. Okay, so I'm using bar underscore heights dot index. I'm passing the max height, so this will return the index location where the maximum value is coming, and using that index location as a reference, I'm just extracting the value from x label. So this will be the most frequent value. So maximum height is the maximum count, or the maximum frequency, you can say, whereas the frequent FREQ value is the most frequent value, or the most frequent label which is appearing on the x-axis. So once this is done, I'm just now this particular piece of code, what I'm doing is I'm just looping through these lists, and what I'm doing it, I'm just trying to first compare the height of the bar. If the height of the bar is maximum height, then color it blue. If that particular label corresponding to that bar is missing, then color it red. And if it is uh, not maximum height and it is not missing, then color it gray. So that's what I'm doing. So we're getting basically three colors: one color for the maximum height, which is blue, and one color for that specific missing category as red, and anything which is neither belong to maximum height nor belong to missing category, that should be colored as gray. So this is what this function is doing, and in the end I'm also returning the most frequent value. That is the most frequent actually you can say the value which is appearing on the x-axis, or the most frequent categorical value. Okay, again I'm just going through it using calling this draw underscore bar plot and passing this variable for the basement quality, and I'm just printing the most frequent value is TA for basement quality, most frequent value for the garage type is attached, and most frequent value for fireplace quality is missing, because we saw that earlier it was around 47-48% data was missing. Now what I'm doing is I'm imputing the missing values. So for the variables like basement quality and the garage type, which are having a small percentage of missing data, we can simply impute it by their most frequent value. So this is a function which actually does this imputation. In this, we'll be passing two data frames, one related to the train and other related to the test, and the variable name is the categorical variable name, and the value is corresponding to that categorical variable, which is the most frequent value. And then within the function, I'm just imputing the any values or missing values using dot fill any method, and passing the value that we are passing in the function, and in place equals to true means that changes should take place within the data frame. So for each of these variables, like basement quality and garage type, and I'm calling this impute missing categorical, passing the x train and x test, the- which are the data frames which we got after the split. Okay, and the variable name represents this variable name, and the frequency represents the respective frequencies that we had calculated earlier while we were doing the plotting of the bar plot. So once this is done, the missing values are imputed for train as well as for test data frame corresponding to these two categorical columns. Let's plot the bar plot again quickly just to see that there is nothing missing. So now if you see the train data, there is no missing category coming in the bar plot for the basement quality, and similarly for the garage type. This was for the training data set. Now similarly for the test data set, there is no missing value, and again the most frequent value is TA, and this is attached for the garage type. Now the second thing is how to deal with the variable which is having a high percentage of missing data. So what we can do is we can follow the approach where we specify missing it, the key, the word or the string missing itself as another category, and let it appear as another category in that particular categorical column. So the advantage of this method is that we are not making any assumptions. Okay, we are just simply creating another label as missing, and let it appear in the uh, in the model, because it's a high percentage which is missing, and we cannot impute any other value, because whatever value we give, that value will kind of do overfitting. So it's better to let it represent what it is, that is it is missing. So let it represent as a missing category. So what I'm doing is I'm just creating a function which imputes the any values by adding the another category. So basically we are passing to it a data frame and a variable, the categorical variable. What I'm doing, I'm just creating another variable, another categorical variable, by appending underscore any to its name, and wherever any is present in the data, that should be replaced by the string or the word missing. Otherwise it should have its original value. So we are passing xtrain and xtest to this particular function for this variable fireplace quality. And once this is done, and if we plot it, this is what we get. This is for the train data set, and this plot is for the test data set. The difference you notice in these red bars is the word missing. It's represented as a category itself. Okay. Um, so it's not like just any, it is actually represented as a specific category, and then it can be treated like any other categories respected to that particular variable, and can be used for the modeling purpose. So that's it for this tutorial. Thank you.